Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sweet Serenity Healing Messages. These messages are meant to give you hope, clarity, courage, understanding, and whatever else is needed to move forward on your healing journey. Whenever this message finds you, that's when you were meant to receive it. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I deeply appreciate all of your support. If you would like to follow me, you can follow me on Facebook at Sweet Serenity Chakra Healing. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the link to my Cash App in the description below. All right, today we're going to get started with some mindful messages. All right, the first message for today is I am safe, protected, and guided in this world. I am safe, protected, guided in this world. That is a root chakra affirmation. What we need to be mindful of on a regular basis is that in this world, we have a purpose. And because we have a purpose, because the universe has intentions for us, the universe is also protecting us in an effort to ensure that we fulfill that purpose. Also, the things that we experience throughout this life, regardless of how traumatic, regardless of how unsettling they may be, we are also being guided through those experiences and regardless of those experiences. So when we feel unsettled within ourselves, when we're feeling fearful, when we're feeling anxious about what could happen and what would happen, one of the best ways to ground our energy is to be mindful of the fact that we are safe, we are protected, we are guided. It is something that is given to us once we arrive. Yes, things may happen. Things may happen to open our eyes. Things may happen to teach us lessons. Things may happen for us to be a testament to how we got through them so that when other people experience them in life, they can now follow our path onto healing and overcoming. All right, next message. If you are serious about change, you have to go through uncomfortable situations. All right, so a lot of people want to make improvements in their life. They want to change their lives around. They want to take a different path, but they also want to stay comfortable. And what is usually hindering them from making those changes in their lives is the willingness to take a risk and the willingness to do things that they've never done before. Change in outcome is a result of change in input. What you've done has to change. What you do has to change. Where you go, who you speak to, it has to be outside of the realm of what you've already been doing in order for you to bring about different results than what you have been bringing about. So a lot of people feel as if they can continue to be who they've always been and stay in the same routine and maintain the same patterns, when in actuality, that is the basis of why things are not improving or changing in their lives. So it's just something to be mindful of. And it doesn't have to be drastic changes. The best way to make a change is to take baby steps, do something small, do something simple. wake up 15 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes earlier. Every small change in the habits that you have, drink more water, take a walk. You don't have to, do a full workout in order to maybe do a weight change, but something as simple as taking a 5-minute walk or doing a 3-minute stretch may be the small step that takes you on this path of making a lifestyle change and evolving your life completely. Next message. Just like the lotus, we too have the ability to rise from the mud, bloom out of the darkness, and radiate into the world. So these messages are kind of tying together. So sometimes what it takes to get through uncomfortable situations is knowing that you are safe, protected, and guided. Without that knowing, without that being rooted within yourself, it's easy to get caught up in the discomfort of the situation versus looking towards what you're hoping to achieve. And then the other thing to be mindful of is that if a lotus flower can rise from the mud and bloom in complete and utter darkness, we too have that capacity. Just because we've been through difficult situations, just because we've had adversity in our lives, just because we've had trauma in our lives, doesn't mean that that is the end of our calling, our potential, our ability to become something great. That is just the beginning, right? That is what defines us. That is what makes us great. That is what makes us unique. That is what makes our story a testimony, is the fact that we've been able to rise through the mud and been able to bloom in circumstances like darkness where no one thought one could or would bloom. And that is what makes your story that much more powerful and makes your achievements that much more admirable. It's not to say that we should look for bad situations or pride ourselves in the negative aspects of our life, but we also should not allow those things to hinder us, because that is not what they were put there for. And trust that we were guided through those situations. And so they were put there with intention, but not to hold us back and not for us to focus on them, but to be able to overcome them. Next message. Have you soaked up any sunlight? All right. So one of the basics of survival on this planet, in this dimension, in this realm, has to do with being a living being. And being a living being in this realm, you need water, you need sunlight at the very least. There are nutrients in sunlight that help us to maintain a certain level of vitality within ourselves. A lot of times when people are depressed, you will find that they are in dark spaces and they can't figure out why they cannot pull themselves out of the depression. And sometimes something as small as ensuring that you get 5 minutes of sunlight in the day while you're in that space can go a long way. Now, the flip side to that is because, sometimes we think of depressed people as being laying in their bed all day or not leaving the house. But even think about the fact that during certain seasons, especially wintertime, when you drive to work, it might be dark. When you leave work, it may also be dark. When you go home, you may have artificial light, but you may not actually be seeing the sunlight for a full season. So if you find that your mood changes, which for many people, when it is rainy or wintertime, when the sun has less time to shine, a lot of people's moods do come down substantially. And you find people to be much happier in the spring and even happier in the summertime, right? But it is somewhat attached to the fact that they're not getting the level of access to the sunlight that they need. So even if you're not the person who curls up in bed all day, if you're just maybe the person who spends most of that time at work, in the wintertime, try to make an effort to get outside for 5 minutes. Take a short walk during your lunch break if it's possible. If you have an additional 10 or 15-minute break, maybe take that time to take a walk, to clear your mind, to soak up some sunlight, to get some vitamin D, literally. because a lot of us in this world with the lifestyle that we live, we are vitamin D deficient. And so that is just something to be mindful of. Next message. What you allow, accept, or deem to be acceptable are reflected in what you attract. A lot of times people don't know why they keep ending up in same or similar situations, or why negative circumstances come towards them or don't leave them. And they might say, I'm a good person and I do good things. Why do bad things happen to me? And part of it is the allowing of this bad thing. If something bad happened and you didn't create a boundary, you told the universe that this is acceptable to you. And so the universe, in receiving that message, will continue to send you that experience, that person, that circumstance. At the point in which you create some kind of boundaries to say, you know what, this is not acceptable. I will not deal with this. I am choosing differently. And I believe, regardless of what I see in this three-dimensional world, I am going to make a move and have faith that if I move myself from this situation or this person, that I will be just fine. A lot of times, if we're in a work situation and it's toxic and it doesn't support us and it drains our energy, and we tell ourselves, you know what, this is what needs to be done. We've allowed it, we've accepted it, and we've deemed it to be acceptable because we're saying to ourselves, this is what is required for me to survive. So the universe says, okay, no problem. We are going to continue to give you this because this is what your belief is. At the point in which you say, you know what, today's the last day that I do this, I am going to leave. I don't know what's on the other side of this, but I have faith that there has to be something better. There has to be something bigger. The Lord will provide. The universe will provide. Then from that point, the universe can say, all right, I will support you because you are safe, protected, and guided. I have no problem giving you that support. It's just a matter of you, at the very least, believing that you are safe, protected, and supported and guided. And I will ensure that you have what you need. It may seem scarce for a period of time. It may even be scary for a period of time. But it is that stepping out on faith and allowing the universe to catch you instead of making you fall, and thinking positive and maintaining positivity, but at the same time saying, my life doesn't deserve to be this experience, to be in this environment. This is not what I want for myself. And not only that, this is what I refuse to accept in my life. Not until you reach that point will you be able to actually experience what it is that you desire. Next card. How cool is it that the divine force who created mountains, oceans, and galaxies looked at you and thought the world needs one of you too? So, sometimes we take our existence for granted. We don't realize what it means to actually be here and what needed to transpire in order for us to be in the space that we're in at the time that we're in. And think of it on a grander scheme and say, well, why am I here? What purpose do I serve? What did the universe or the divine have in store for me for this period of my life, for the existence of humanity? What am I supposed to be able to contribute? If the universe gave something as vast and as awesome as mountains, oceans, and galaxies, I must be important. I must be wonderful as well, awe-inspiring in some way, fashion, or form in order for me to be within this existence with these other great things, right? These other great beings, these other great existences. If they can be awesome, filled with awe, let's call it, I can too possess that level of energy, right? So don't think of yourself in a small manner. the best way to become great is to believe first that you are great, and to understand that you were brought here because of your greatness, the greatness that is innate to you, not that you've built while you've been here. It was already in you when you arrived here. So just something to be mindful of. Next, I'm going to pick one Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. And if this message is resonating with you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That way I can tap into your energy and better be able to assist in directing these messages towards you, your needs, the understandings that you require. Let's pick one of these. All right. Crown chakra, the unlimited self. The crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens. The infinity symbol of limitless appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here, you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance with us when we are aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Be present and flow without rigid outcomes. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to the intuitive messages you may receive. So one thing that I did not mention when I was speaking of soaking in the sunlight is that sunlight, nature, being out in nature definitely not only helps to ground our energy, but especially when it comes to being in the sunlight, it definitely helps us to connect with our crown chakra, to connect with spirit, and to connect with the divine, right? Another way to open up your crown chakra and to connect with spirit is through meditation. A lot of people believe that meditation is a matter of sitting still and being quiet. My favorite ways to meditate do not require sitting still per se. Drawing for me is meditation. When I make meditation malas, I am meditating. When I make beaded jewelry, I am meditating. When I'm dancing, I'm meditating. When I'm doing yoga, I'm meditating. My favorite ways to meditate are in motion. Even when I'm taking a walk, it is a meditation. It is about being present. It's about being conscious. It's about soaking up that experience, right? Being engulfed in that experience, which is where you're kind of surrendering to everything else that's going on around you, right? Having that sacred space and that sacred time to really delve into what it is that you're doing, what's in front of you.